Look, we move on to the next guest. The first time me and Timmy ever spoke publicly about our story was at a 2014 conference, the Cork Alliance Centre, which is a probation funded project in Cork that would have supported me and Timmy. And we spoke there, the President Higgins spoke as well. That was the first time I met Fianna Canada, who was Irish Penal Reform Trust then. And then you became the director of IPRT, and now you are the assistant director of the Irish Probation Service. You're very welcome to the stage.
Thanks so much. Myself and John were just commenting, follow all of that, how can we? But I did great job with the name. I'm saying it's the Cork City grandmother gave you my name, so I felt sure that a Cork guys would get it. And that's 3 or 4 shouts out for Cork now. Yeah. It is so nice to be in a room together again with old friends and new friends, all working together to help make this change. The Probation Service is particularly delighted to be here to share in these important discussions today. In the Probation Service, we know that for anyone excluded from the mainstream labour market due to their criminal record, supported employment in a social enterprise can and does provide a much needed buffer to help them gain confidence in their own abilities and skills while also earning a wage, and that's important too. The pathway from social enterprise to mainstream business and the mainstream labour market is the important next step. And the businesses here today and employers in the room, like Google, do make a difference through their HR policies and their recruitment policies. I'd like to reflect on James Timpson before, and indeed James and Timmy earlier, about how giving people a second chance will actually get rewarded not only with skills, but with loyalty and staff retention and all the issues that are challenging employers today. So it's not a one-way thing, it's absolutely of mutual benefit. And also delighted to hear about these email signatures. I hadn't heard that before. At a previous event organised by the Dynamo, that is Siobhan Cafferty up in Loughlin House, I was struck by 2 guys who were long gone from prison, but they spoke about how when they saw an ad that actually said people with convictions welcome to apply, that made a difference. So Dominique and David and in Google, and employers who take that step of naming it, it's really welcome. The Probation Service has worked closely with Siobhan Cafferty since the inception of Working to Change, setting out ambitious targets to support people with criminal convictions to enter or re-enter the workforce. And I have to say the collaboration between GASHCA, the President's Award, and the Working to Change strategy is inspired. It really does help change the narrative from what's happened in someone's past to focus on strengths, prospects and transformation. To quote the Came or Came video, and it's lovely to see Elaine and Mary here as well, GASHCA supports young people to take that second chance, to develop belief in themselves and to do this within their communities. It's a really important message, and the Probation Service looks forward to sharing these videos far and wide to get it out there, and also within our own staff and our funded projects. Along with Came or Came, the Probation Service, we fund 60 projects in the communities around Ireland to the tune of over €17 million. We Have a Dream is another probation-funded youth project in Cherry Orchard, Ballyfermot, known to many as the WAD. Founded in 1988, the WAD has always seen the benefits of outdoor adventure pursuits as a keen draw for young participants. And with the GASHCA Award as a template, the project has helped several young people to gain important life skills and build themselves up. The hard work required to complete the GASHCA Awards is something that leaves a lasting impression. And staff members, one of whom, Pat, I look forward to welcoming to the stage in soon, can attest to this. So they have seen young participants in the project become adults and parents, subsequently returning to contribute to either the boxing club or the local football club and other community activities. So this is the same community connections piece that was mentioned in the Came or Came video. So along with our funded projects, the Probation Service also leads out on both the Kickstart Social Enterprise Scheme and the recently launched Kickstart Scholarship Scheme. And it's great to see colleagues from Pobble and Maynooth University here today. In June, social enterprises were awarded funding totalling over €1 million from the Probation Service's Kickstart Dormant Account Fund. The funding will be used to support employment options for people with a criminal history, with the aim of reducing reoffending and improving community safety. So to go back to an earlier video when Anita spoke about education in prisons, she mentioned one step leads to another. So from Gaisce to education and employment, and from social enterprise to employment in the main labour market. So I'm just going to finish with an anecdote, which is easily the most special experience that I had in 14 years of engagement with prisons, probation and penal reform, was to be present when President Michael D. Higgins presented, and Sabina Higgins presented gold medal to and silver and bronze medals in the progression unit in Mountjoy Prison. And I remember I was speaking with Governor Walsh earlier and knew it was so dark outside. It was November, it was dark, it was cold, it was rainy outside, but inside was full of light and bright and hope and celebration. And we all know in this room how difficult it is for any young person to do a Gaisce Award, but for someone in prison or probation, it is 10 times harder. So the role that who we're here to celebrate today, the President's Award leaders, is immense. And the other side benefit, we're so delighted to see Governor Walsh getting a special recognition today. They didn't mention the amazing catering that he tends to go along with, though. So thank you, Governor Walsh, for feeding us over many years as well. So, all of this, as I said, come back to the script. This is made possible to provide the President's Award leaders, and the awarding of the Civic Merit Awards to staff working in community-based organisations supported by the Probation Service is an acknowledgement of how significant this moment and this contribution is. So I'd like to encourage all probation staff and Probation Service funded project to sign up to become, for the training, to become the President's Award leaders, and to all young people to encourage them to be involved in the Gaisce Awards.